Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Monday, number 2 day for the month of May, 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Past King, una own countryman. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where they bring meaningful information for una, where they bring facts-based analysis for help we navigate this journey to our freedom, the independence of the former British Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. People of the British Southern Cameroons, citizens of Ambazonia, we damn catch 'em. Them go show Nwang. I say them go show Nwang. The Ambazonian Defense Forces, Bamenda Brigade, have arrested the handpicked so-called Senator Mundi, Elizaberth Regina, where Mr. Biya the President of the Republic of Cameroon, handpicked in a presidential decree where he signed them for April 2018 to become an unelected senator representing Ambazonia in La République du Cameroon legislature. Biya be choose Regina Elizaberth Mundi alongside Fondo Nganyonga III, Fonchafa Isaac, and as alternative candidate he be choose Atanga Charles Musi with Abga Martin Kum as alternates, even though the Ambazonian people they be reject that election with a boycott of more than 96%. La République du Cameroon they still stage a fake election in which in the less than 2% of the population where they be participate, the SDF win the CPDM. Despite that result, the senator will be handpicked and chosen by Biya from his CPDM cabal as a representative of Ambazonia in La République du Cameroon senator. Madame Mundi at that time he thanked Biya for trusting ye and for put the confidence for ye say make he work for Biya for represent Ambazonia. Despite the fact say over 1.5 million people them they can be displaced for inside the Savannah states and over 2.4 million Ambazonian them they can be displaced because of this Biya a war against Ambazonia, with close to 30,000 people them be killed and over 3,000 political prisoners of conscience being ferried into La République du Cameroon from our territory. This woman he choose for accept for represent Mr. Biya as a so-called senator for Ambazonia. Even when the people them they reject a party, even when the people them reject for participate for election, Madame Mundi he accept for be a representative where the people they nobody choose him make he represents them. Any man where he want stand for represent a people must get the accord of the people. If no be say you been a selfish person, why will you on earth accept to go and play the role of a senator when the people of that constituency or the people of that state and country did not vote you in the first place? These are people who put their personal survivors, their kickbacks ahead of the millions of people who have been displaced, the thousands of people who have been killed, and according to the American government, the hundreds of people that have been slaughtered in Mr. Biya targeted killing machine that is grinding the people of Ambazonia. In case you don't know who be Mrs. Regina Elizaberth Mundi, it will be one of the trusted people where the Republic of Cameroon, if we get time where they work with them for undermine the administration of the former British Southern Cameroon. It be act as a secretary for the CNU party, where they become transform him into the CPDM. Mrs. Mundi, it will be famous for help Mr. Biya at a time when the people of the Southern Cameroon and the people for the whole that Cameroon region be reject this political system where the French government it be done put them in a presidential election for 1992. Overwhelmingly, the people that become out vote for SDF and John Frundi for become president. Mrs. Mundi Regina it will be one of the key people where Biya be use them for rig election. Frundi it be demand me the vanguards them born a house where they for inside Bamenda, a house will be born for 1992. So this woman now the scavengers, these are the vampires within Ambazonia. Good citizens of Ambazonia, repeatedly, the Ambazonian liberation leaderships, Ambazonian activists, the Ambazonian people, since 2018, where our people them rise up, they march to all our traditional palaces across Ambazonia, demanding an end of political participation. We don't want all Ambazonian citizens not for be allowed themselves for be used by Mr. Biya and the Republic of Cameroon as impostors and puppets to certify this fake union and to legitimize this occupation of our territory. With consequences, have every single Ambazonian activist warned those who participate in election or allow themselves to be used as senators, parliamentarians, mayor, and whatsoever to represent our territory in the political system of La République du Cameroon. Today, after 99 days, after pulling the strings, Madame Mundi Regina was deceived that La République du Cameroon controls Bamenda, as she parades Bamenda with her car. A special operation of the Bamenda 6th Brigade intercepted her and put her under arrest for charges of treason, high treason, for that matter, an accessory to the murder of our people as a collaborator with Mr. Biya B. Vondo. Fellow Ambazonians, the first strategy of any occupier or any colonizer is to recruit individuals among the occupied people and place them as authorities that are going not to work on behalf of their people or the interests of their people, but to serve the interests of the occupier. This is not different from the system of slavery. For each slave master to be able to control his slave, he chooses among them what they call the house nigger in America, or lapdog in certain places, or elevated slaves in the case of Ambazonia, in the likes of Atanganji Paul, Diongute, Madame Regina Elizaberth, Mundi, in this case, in order for them to effectively control the population, temper down the anger of the population, deceive, and neutralize any resistance from slaves or occupied people. This is not new. The Germans did the same when they occupied France, appointing a French general who have been so thirsty for power and hungry for power, General Patin Philippe. He was made the president of France by the occupying German authority. The French government, once they freed their country, they lay hands on him and sentence him to death for allowing himself to be used by a foreign government, an occupying army, to rule over their people and create a semblance of legitimacy of German rule over France. The Americans did the same in Iraq. They did the same in Afghanistan. Most of those puppets that were put in positions in Iraq and in Afghanistan by the American occupation forces have all since fled those countries to abroad to accompany the occupier because they neither represented their people or the interests of their people. Fellow Ambazonians, people like Regina Elizaberth Mundi and all those who have made themselves to become senators and parliamentarians without any mandate from their so-called constituency or the people of Ambazonia are not doing so unknowingly. These are individuals who, for selfish reasons, for kickbacks, to benefit their family members and to benefit themselves against the backdrop of the murderous machine of our people. The same people, some of which on TV have questioned the legitimacy of any election without election in Ambazonia for the past 5 years, have made themselves available to Mr. Biya to be as puppet to justify Cameroon's war against Ambazonia that have led to the killing of many. These are criminals. These are people who have committed grave and high treason against their own people, undermining their very survival. Remember, these same people that La République calls as senator are the people who have certified this illegal union by their presence in La République du Cameroon political system. The first thing Ambazonians did that break the umbilical cord of British control was Ambazonian withdrawal from the Eastern House of Assembly in Nigeria that led to the collapse of the joint administration that was legitimately set up by the British government in instituting its power as a trustee holder of the British Southern Cameroon. For that system to collapse, the people of Ambazonia on their own, for the interest of their people, withdraw from the Eastern House of Assembly in Onugu, that led to us to secede and separate from Nigeria without a single gunshot. His Royal Highness von Godidinka, after, on behalf of the people of the former British Southern Cameroons, invoked the restoration law that formally proclaimed for the people of the British Southern Cameroon that the Republic of Cameroon had officially seceded from the illegal union it imposed on Ambazonia. The first thing he did was a request for all political parties representatives who represent the former British Southern Cameroons, now Ambazonia, within Cameroon political system, to withdraw and come back home as a patriotic duty and as a means to represent the interests of their people, so that the legitimacy claimed by La République du Cameroon over our territory will collapse and the union will end naturally. This was not possible any longer because those who represented our territory are those who were lured to work for La République du Cameroon because they were recruited out of disgruntled politics of the day, where you saw people like Muna abandoning patriotic duty as a result of failure to ascend to power within his political party, and a series of politicians, including Endele, who abandoned the constitutional process that was meant to give our people a say in a union or to implement the plebiscite decisions that was validated in the United Nations General Assembly. As controversial as it was, that process was abandoned because of greed, because of recruitment from La République du Cameroon and luring of our politicians for personal benefits. Unlike the call for Endele for our politicians who were duly elected by the people, who represented the people and the interests of the people of the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, to withdraw from Enugu, this time Godidinka could not call the people to withdraw because these people were never elected in the first place. These are people that were attracted to La République for financial benefits and were appointed not by the Prime Minister of the Southern Cameroon, but the President Amadou Ahidjo, and some of them by Mr. Paul Biya himself. A couple of decades after the Ambazonian people have gone through assimilation and reject of dialogue by La République du Cameroon with the Congress of our people of the SCNC, in frustration and in accordance with the resolutions of the Biya All Anglophone Conference and the Bamenda All Anglophone Conference, Justice Frederick Adobwele declared the independence of the former British Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, at midnight 1999 December, making our country independent. A declaration that was reiterated by Siseko Ayoktabi on the 1st of October 2018. Before then, a call for our population to demonstrate their will for separation was announced on the 20th of September 2018, where all villages, all peoples across our territory rose up to embrace and prepare themselves for the declaration of Ambazonians' adherence to the restoration of our sovereignty by Godidinka and the declaration of our independence by Justice Frederick Adobwele. On the 1st of October 2018, Siseko Ayoktabi declared and reiterated our independence and outright separation from the Republic of Cameroon. Our people of over 98% rose up in Bamenda, Biya, Kumba, Mutengene, in every district and in every state to their traditional rulers and told them the mandate and demand for a cessation of political participation and for the withdrawal of all parliamentarians and senators. In front of their houses, they went and instructed them, we do not want what La République du Cameroon. We want outright separation and independence. Therefore, giving the mandate to the Ambazonians to organize themselves to protect and defend their independence against Cameroon illegal occupation and to assert the power of our sovereignty, a power that was declared and was recognized by Lord George Bolton of the British Parliament, that declared in the Parliament of the British people that the people of the British Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, do have the right under international law to exert the power of their sovereignty, as there is no constitutional or legal union or a union treaty between the two Cameroons, the former British Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, and La République du Cameroon. Therefore, anybody born of Cameroon, Southern Cameroons, any Ambazonian who represent our territory in the Republic of Cameroon without election is no longer representing our people. That person, an individual, is representing themselves, and they are validating, giving a semblance of legitimacy to Cameroon's, a foreign and alien government, legitimacy to rule over our territory. These are the people who have certified the anti-terrorism law that are being used to judge our people in military tribunals in La République du Cameroon. Before April 2018, the Ambazonian Defense Forces Ground Zero Council and the War Council, including the Ambazonian Governing Council, had declared participation in political activities without legitimacy, without the mandate of the Ambazonian people within La République du Cameroon as activity enabling Cameroon's occupation and Cameroon prosecution of this war against our people. Individuals who participate as senators, parliamentarians, mayors are committing high treason and will face the consequences of their action to the full extent of the gravity of their crimes. These people, such as Elizaberth, Regina, Mundi, are the reasons why La République du Cameroon is committing these crimes that we see today in our territory. These people are the reason why La République du Cameroon have a reason to still be in Ambazonia. They have enabled La République to be able to make the case that they have people of Ambazonian origin that represents our territory within La République du Cameroon's political system, thereby legitimizing actions being taken by La République du Cameroon against Ambazonians who are fighting for their rights of self-determination to exist as a free people and to exercise their sovereign rights as a territory, thereby making legitimate Ambazonian resistance to seem like agitators in the eyes of international community, people who are simply trying to wreck the system. Because of their representation in La République du Cameroon political system as parliamentarians and senators, La République du Cameroon thinks they have legitimacy and legality in their brutality in burning down our villages, executing our children, and carrying out targeted killing on behalf of the Cameroon Republic. Because of their presence, La République du Cameroon thinks it can commit genocide against people they now consider as part of their citizens in their countries who are agitating and not accepting the reality of one Cameroon. It is because of them. These people are the ones for whom La République du Cameroon are eliminating our people to make political environment suitable for them to come and parade as puppet representing the political system of the oppressor. These people are part of the system, are part of the individuals who certify, who help Paul Biya to present law that he made in his basement as legitimate laws to be used against our people in prosecuting the conduct of its brutal subjugation law against the people of Ambazonia. Madame Regina Elizaberth Mundi represents nobody as a senator. All the collaborators who carry the same titles and carry the same positions within La République du Cameroon from Ambazonia represent nobody. They are a fraud, a product of a fraud, a product of an illegality over their people against the will and express will of their people that have been acknowledged even by their own Christian Cardinal Tumi in a poll where he declared that 96% of our people have outrightly gone out of his questionnaire to reject the Cameroon Union. Not only a rejection, but a demand for outright separation and independence of their territory, the former British Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. People like Regina Mundi and the so-called senators and parliamentarians are so greedy that they do not even consider the fact that there was no election in Ambazonia for them to be parading around like senators and parliamentarians representing people who did not elect them in the first place. Someone who really thinks they are representing a people or a constituency will, without an election, say, I cannot continue or I will not accept to be a senator or a parliamentarian without the vote or proper election of at least a reasonable proportion of participation from the people they claim to represent. By accepting to become senator, by accepting to become parliamentarians, by accepting to become mayor, these individuals have in their conscience violated, in their conscience legitimized the killings, brutal burning downs of houses by the Cameroon military that projects itself as those fighting for that regime, for that system that have put our people under subjugation and brought destitution in our land. These individuals must be seen for who they are: greedy, bloodthirsty politicians that will walk over the blood of their own people, over the ruins of their own villages, to step into riches in La République du Cameroon for themselves and their family members at the perils of their own kingsmen. These are criminals. These are traitors. These are enablers of colonialism. Colonialism itself being declared a crime against humanity. These are war criminals, accessory to every bit of crimes committed by the bees, the gendarmes of La République du Cameroon within Ambazonia. They do not only legitimize, they continue to oversee and will come back after villages have been burned, after those who speak for the interests of our people, who support Ambazonia, have been killed. They will come back to pamper our people with bribes, with money, and lord over them in the name of one and indivisible Republic of Hell. They are legitimizing an aggression currently going on. They are legitimizing the killing of our people, a political system that have not been able to provide even drinking water to their own people, that have snatched our youths even from decent education, that have brought destitution for the 99% of our people. Regina, Mundi, Elizaberth is now in the hands of the vanguards of the people of Ambazonia. She is now in the hands of those who represent the interests of our starving and destituted people. She is now in the hands of the people that are exercising and exerting the sovereignty of Ambazonia. She is now facing the full consequences of betrayal, treason, high treason against the sovereignty and territorial integrity of our territory. She is now facing the music of accessory to the murder of Mami Appiah, the burning down of Kwakwa, the beheading of Samsoya, and the many others who languish in La République du Cameroon concentration camp, while some within us will continue to parade as this same scavenger that ran to La République du Cameroon to legitimize this system, the vanguards of their revolutions. The Ambazonian Governing Council, the Ambazonia Defense Forces will ensure that the interest of our people is upheld, the integrity of our territorial and sovereignty will be upheld to its maximum and purest form. God bless you all. Capo Daniel, signing off.